DMK is unlike any skincare company on Earth. Named after visionary founder Danae Montague King, DMK is committed to providing individualized products and treatment plans that heal skin on the cellular level, whether the condition concerns pigmentation, acne, inflammation, or signs of aging. DMK is home to the original enzyme mask, the game-changing formula that sends oxygenating, tightening, and exfoliating signals into the skin to enact changes in skin structures from the inside out. At DMK, we believe everyone deserves to feel the confidence that comes with healthy, beautiful skin. Learn more at DanaeMKing.com. That's DANNEM King.com. Enhance your practice and your income by discovering the transformative power of Celluma Light Therapy. Clinically proven and FDA cleared, Celluma's innovative LED technology addresses issues at the cellular level, promoting healing and rejuvenation. Whether for acne, aging skin, pain relief, hair restoration, or body contouring, Celluma Light Therapy delivers professional results in clinic or at home. Ready to help your clients feel their best? Visit Celluma.com and start your journey to becoming a Celluma professional today.
Hello and welcome to ASCP's Esty Talk. I'm your co-host Maggie Staszcuk and ASCP's Program Director.
And I'm Ella Cressman, licensed esthetician and content contributor for Associated Skincare Professionals. Guess what? Another shout out.
Another shout out.
Well, here though, we have something very exciting. We're going to shout out students, and with students, we have an exciting announcement.
Yeah, we are having our very first Student Education Summit. This is taking place September 23rd, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So please join us. If you are a student, register. You can go to ascpskincare.com/student-summit. This is a virtual education experience designed just for you, the skincare student. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity. It is education to gain a competitive edge in your career. You can stay up to date on the latest trends, gain insights from experts in the field, network with fellow students, and this is all from the comfort of your home.
Hey, so listen, if they were driving to school and they couldn't write it down, they can find it on ascp.com.
100%, yeah,
Okay.
right from our homepage.
Fantastic. Check it out.
So Ella, exosomes, I know you know the term. It's been a buzzword trending throughout the industry, I think, all year. I know you're well-versed.
You know what? I have done a huge deep dive onto this subject because I had to understand that. It seems very intimidating, but I wanted to know more.
I think it's hard to say which way exosomes will land, to the wayside or a tried and true ingredient that stays in the spotlight.
I mean, we'll see. It reminds me a lot of the introduction of plant stem cells to our industry. Do you remember when that happened?
I do.
There was a lot of controversy around it because of parallels with plant stem cells and human stem cells. And I see this here now. I see the difference. So what I do know is that for a long time, plant stem cells were underutilized. And then all of a sudden they were like, oh yeah, these are great. Look what we have. But it was like 12 years in. Like we've been talking about that for a while. So very interesting. On exosomes, you know what's hard to decipher, especially in the beginning? What do they really do?
I agree. And I think everything you just said, it can be really confusing. What's the difference between exosomes, stem cells, growth factors, even hearing the words platelets and PRP, sometimes you will hear these terms used in conjunction with those treatments.
Right.
And it can be very confusing for the consumer and for the esthetician.
I think so. Even like how it's applied or how it's delivered.
Yes,
It's
totally.
like a fight right now. I can't wait for people to get to an arm wrestling match and see who's going to win this. But it's very interesting.
Yeah. So let's dive in. What are exosomes exactly? So what makes them so alluring is the type of information they carry. They're basically filled with genetic material like lipids, proteins, and growth factors. They do carry growth factors. So you can think of them as messenger molecules or little pockets or little sacs that help other cells in our body communicate. So they're transmitting information between skin cells to support processes like cell repair and collagen production, even pigmentation regulation. They can also have anti-inflammatory responses.
I like to think of this, well, I speak in analogies. So when I think of these, I think of different types of communication that we have. We have letters, we have phone calls, we have in person, and we have text messages, right?
Yeah.
So with a letter, there is time that it takes to write it, fold it up, mail it, and for it to get there to where it needs to be. So this I think of as topical application of some ingredients. You have to mail it, put it on top, and let it settle into wherever it needs to go. Then you think of phone call, still effective, but you're not able to infer some things. Like you can hear their intonation or how their voice sounds, but you can't see their body language. Like they might go, yeah, that's fine, but they're like twirling their neck around, like rolling their eyes, whatever. T9, I say T9, text messaging. So from T9 to now, we've come a long way where we're able to use emojis, blah, blah, blah. A little bit different where you're seeing it, but you can kind of infer like emotion or direction, but not really. And then you have in person. So in person, you're hearing this, you're watching the body language, you're able to get a full picture of exactly what they're trying to say. This is exosomes compared to other ingredients. Exosomes is in-person communication. It's actually direct cell contact. Sometimes it's just right next to each other, telling you, this is what I want, this is what I need you to do it now, versus anything else, waiting for the message to get there or thinking that you understand what they're asking of you, but not knowing for sure.
That is a great analogy. And based on that information, it would seem like who doesn't want to use exosomes? We should be bathing in this stuff, right? If it is doing so many great things for our skin and for our body, we would want them, right?
Sure. Here's the other thing though. Yes, but I want my boss to tell me I want to understand exactly what my boss wants me to do, but I have the weekends and evenings off. So if you're telling me too soon or out of schedule, is that effective for me? Because now I'm going to have to think about it, remember it. So yes, exosomes are effective, but do we need them all like this topically all the time? Or I guess sometimes injected? I don't know.
Yeah, so you're leading us to our next point. One of the biggest trends right now, or the latest advances in technology, is offering exosomes topically in skincare products. But the question is, does this actually work? So the thing about exosomes is that they are nanoparticles and they cannot penetrate the skin on their own. Traditionally, they need to be injected or they are microneedled. And this is where estheticians probably are familiar with hearing this term, is that when we are doing microneedling or we are doing like the vampire facial or PRP, we are drawing blood, pulling the platelets, and then using this to microneedle into the skin. Those platelets have exosomes with growth factors, and it has a huge benefit to the skin. All the things we just went through with collagen and reducing inflammation and targeting pigmentation. But those exosomes are not penetrating if they aren't being microneedled or they are not being injected.
That's because of their size. It's because of their size and they're only able to get in through sweat. It's not that they're not penetrating necessarily, but they're only able to get in through sweat gland and pores. So that message is like an in-person message that somebody then wrote down and then mailed to you. But there is new technology released where actually you can, and it's a matter of encapsulation. So you're encapsulating and it delivers, is able to bypass that area where it needs to get to. This is interesting because when we talk about these new products coming out and we understand the two schools of thought on microneedling, you're absolutely not supposed to use any product or you can use some product. That begs the question then, what else is in the formula of these exosomes? And is that the case? Or is this product intended for topical application? If this product is, no matter the source, intended for topical application, then what is the delivery method, right? That's another question to ask.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back.
Elibana, Australian-born, globally loved. Elibana's story is simple. They love lashes and brows. They shoot for the stars and lift lashes to new heights. Their addiction is real, their passion is popping, and there is nothing more they crave than offering excellence, service, and innovation in products. Elibana Lash Lift allows you to offer your customers luscious, lifted lashes that can last up to 12 weeks in one safe, 20-minute treatment. Learn more at elibana-usa.com.
Okay, here we go. Let's get back to the podcast.
Before we dive into that, let's just touch really quickly on where exosomes are sourced from. Plants, microbes, synthesized in a lab. So this is kind of what we've all been familiar with. We're isolating, mixing, putting it in a centrifuge, and pulling from plant tissue. Or again, it's been synthesized in a lab. It also can be human-derived. So you are drawing your own blood, or it could be donated and pulled from other human sources. This could be bone marrow, adipose, umbilical cord, or placental tissues that have been donated and are used for cosmetic purposes.
Yeah, most of them are human derived up until like the last 2 years. Most of them. And you know what I found out? That there's something called a jelly sac in a umbilical cord. That's where they're pulling those ones. Okay? News to me, I don't have kids. And then the adipose is often donated from liposuction. So it's cleaned and everything, but still controversy associated with that.
Yeah.
And now we have plants and this opens up the door, like huge, it swings it open for plants versus humans. So we'll see. Let's watch and see the plant-derived exosomes. I think that's going to take off more.
I think that we saw this happening with stem cells when stem cells were first introduced and they were being human-derived. Also, a lot of controversy surrounding this. And plants are one thing, and there was a lot of question, if I recall at the time, correct me if I'm wrong, but are plant-derived stem cells, and of course, for this conversation, plant-derived exosomes, as effective as human-derived? And you have this camp of people that say, no, or our body isn't using and recognizing plants the way they are human-derived. So do your research, know the type of bodily tissue, where it's harvested from, the country of origin, who are the donors. And there are people out there that if they knew they were using a product that had human-derived exosomes, they may have a big issue with that for more than one reason.
Me. I am the people out there. I don't want that. It's crazy. And you bring up the point of plant stem cells versus human stem cells. The biggest misunderstanding was the capability. We were assuming that the statement was plant stem cells were going to have exactly the same capability as these human stem cells. The Swiss apple was the very first plant stem cell that they used, but it had very specific intention, was used for very specific skin response. And it's very similar with these plant exosomes. They're used for specific intention. That's why we're going to see more of them. There's going to be different derivatives from different extracts, from different circumstances, versus the human, it's a totally different messaging. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. What should be pointed out is that anything derived from humans is considered a drug. And this is where the FDA gets involved. So generally speaking, exosome products intended to treat disease or conditions in humans requires FDA approval. What is interesting to me is when I was looking on the FDA website, they don't address cosmetic products for obvious reasons. Cosmetic products are not FDA regulated, but they do talk about stem cells, exosomes, and the like. But of course, anything that is a cosmetic using these ingredients is not mentioned. Cosmetics are not regulated by the FDA. So that's interesting to note.
You know what I would wonder? If you know how some things we have drug facts, like salicylic acid and sunscreen?
Yeah.
I wonder if this category will have, because we see products, professional skincare products that have human exosomes in them. I wonder if that's going to happen.
I think, if exosomes are here to stay, I would imagine so. What the FDA says is that generally exosome products are intended to treat disease or conditions in humans and so require FDA approval. So again, this is including stem cell products and other widely promoted products such as products derived from adipose tissue purported to be a regenerative medicine product.
Interesting. How can you say rejuvenating face cream and not, there it is. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah. But I do remember when stem cells became a thing, however many years ago, there was controversy. And I think even at one point, it became illegal to take stem cells to regenerate collagen. Like if you needed a knee replacement, for instance, that was illegal to do at that time.
But you can use your own.
Yeah.
Can you use donor stem? Yeah, now you can, right?
Now you
use
can.
donors, but they must have made some kind of advances in cleaning them,
Yeah.
qualifying them.
Yeah.
Because if you're just cleaning off these exosomes from somebody's liposuction, you really don't know. And especially when you're talking about some of that cell communication and that intracellular communication, that could be super dangerous. So, I'm not an official. Don't come at me. A lot of people have growth factor creams. A lot of people are using these topical human-derived exosome products, and they are in love. I love that for you. I'm not going to do it for now. I don't know enough about that side. I'm more comfortable with the plant-derived exosomes at this point.
I agree with you. I'm in the same camp as you. I know there are also people out there who are taking their own, whatever it is, growth factors, exosomes, stem cells, and having them blended into a cream that lasts, say, a month or a couple of months, and applying that to themselves topically. Even that, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I know where I've been. I know what I've done. I don't need my own stem cells. I already know they're faulty. I already know they're damaged. So.
Now, listeners, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the safety or efficacy of exosomes? Share with us on social media through Instagram, Facebook, or by emailing getconnected@ascpskincare.com. Thank you for listening to ASCP Esty Talk. And as always, for more information on this episode or for ways to connect with Ella and myself, or to learn more about ASCP, check out the show notes.
Are you interested in providing results-driven treatment services? Join a team of like-minded individuals who share your passion and support your success. With more than 1,000 franchised locations in 49 states, Massage Envy is not only the nation's #1 provider of massage services collectively across its franchise network, but also a national leader in skincare. Start or grow your career at a Massage Envy franchised location. Visit massageenvy.com/SDcareers for full details.